Shifting our focus to some other breaking developments coming in. And this is as far as the death toll because of the earthquakes in Turkey and Syria is concerned. We're understanding that number has now crossed 9,500, even as back-to-back quakes continue to jolt Turkey as well as Syria. So the devastation only continues to increase. Death toll has also crossed 9,500, even though rescue and relief operations still continue on the ground. Let's bring in our colleague Siddhant also, who in fact has been tracking these developments for us. Siddhant, it has been a double whammy of sorts. The first earthquake resulting in mass devastation, and even as relief and rescue operations are taking place, earthquakes are not ending for both the regions.
Well, that's right. In fact, the ambassador of Turkey to India has also expressed his concerns yesterday while addressing media here in the national capital that there has been more than 6 to 7 small and major earthquakes in Turkey and in fact in that region. So earthquakes are not the shocks and tremors are still taking place. And in fact, what is even more problematic for the rescue teams is that it is freezing cold in that region with rain, heavy rains, and that is making tasks even more difficult for the rescue teams there working on ground, both in Turkey and Syria. And one more very important point here I would like to highlight is that Turkey has one government, but Syria, where a devastation has taken place, is divided into 3 powers. One is government, the other is third, and the third one is the rebel forces. Now, even if supply is reaching Damascus, the government of Damascus going to distribute it equally? And is there any assurance whether government is going to carry out relief work equally in all the areas? That is something which is in fact creating problems for the global community also, because already US has imposed sanctions on Syria. Then there are only 1 or 2 channels through which the aid can be supplied into Syria. Now, government really needs to focus on opening the other channels as well. Also, Syrian government needs to focus on taking help and assistance from the Western powers, and that is the only option left before the Syrian government. So, situation cannot be compared. But yes, the situation of Turkey is better than Syria in terms of government management, in terms of assistance and aid reaching the country, and also in terms of priority. Because Syria situation is really bad, and already the buildings were in dilapidated conditions in Syria where devastation has taken place. So that toll combined of Syria and Turkey has crossed 9,500 mark, and if you remember, Ridhima, there was one report which was published yesterday in which WHO has predicted more than 20,000 deaths in that region. Back to you.
Just request you to stay on with us. So as our colleague Siddhant is pointing out, the death toll has already crossed that 9,500 mark, even as multiple other quakes continue to haunt that region. Let's quickly also talk to you about what really is happening on the ground as far as this devastation is concerned. Just look at the kind of visuals that we're putting out. But in this hour of grief, there is some sort of hope as well, because amid the devastation in Turkey, you have a newborn baby girl, and she was rescued from the rubble of her home in northern Syria. Her umbilical cord was still attached to her mother when she was in fact found. Her mother is believed to have died after giving birth. Here's hoping that the child does have some sort of support going forward. But let's talk to you about some other visuals that we're getting in to really understand how grave is the situation. Relief and rescue operations still continues. India was one of the first countries to offer help to Turkey. Here are visuals for another batch of aid that India has now sent to Turkey, where in fact what you can actually see is multiple rescue units and other specialized equipment that India has sent to Turkey. Remember, India has sent a total of 4 C-17 plane loads of relief material. There are dog squads, drilling machines, so on and so forth that have also been sent. You also have the ambassador from Turkey who thanked India, calling India a true dost and a friend for this quick help that has been given in their hour of grief. Let's also talk to you about some other developments that has taken place. India is not the only country that is helping Turkey. Mexico has also sent its beloved search and rescue dogs to Turkey to help with the relief and rescue operations, to try and find if there are any survivors in that rubble and debris as well. What we're also understanding, at least 16 dogs alongside their handlers have taken part. The canine team includes Belgian and many other sheepdogs, Labradors, others, etc. Mexico's search and rescue dogs became a symbol of the country's resilience in the face of the tragedy following the 2017 earthquake that, remember, had killed hundreds in Mexico City. This is a story that we'll keep tracking very